All right, people, welcome to another episode of Natty News Daily. This one's going to be a cool one. We've got some physique updates to look at, some physiques to discuss, and kind of a few different scenarios. It's not just everybody, in prep, not everybody in the off season. So a couple names, at different phases in their training career. So the three of us are just going to chat about them, maybe give our opinions on progress that's been made, where they're looking at this stage in the game. So I guess before we start, Dan, how are you doing, man?
Pretty good. In general. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maintenance
Chilling?
phase and yeah, it's I'm like kind of food focused, but I'm not really hungry, if that kind of makes sense. But it's like my food's just high, so I feel like I'm just like
Yeah.
enjoying the food. But another
Now,
couple weeks of this and then maybe I don't know, we'll see.
so that was my follow-up. So we tried to
I
bully you into committing to prep. Now, are you still on the fence?
I am still on the fence. I'm thinking about pulling the trigger. Last few weeks have been just super crazy. I haven't really thought much about like what I'm gonna do, but
I've thought about what you're going to do, so figure it
yeah, yeah.
out.
But it's like I'm at the point where it's like I still feel really good. Like I'm pretty lean at this point. Um, it's like might make sense, you
You
know.
have you have the most ideal setup right now. You don't travel for work, you work from home. You never have to
Yeah,
leave your house to train. So you've got your entire basement as a gym, like a fully kitted gym that you don't train anywhere else. And you're already like lean and look great. Like if you don't do it, I think you're missing an opportunity for sure.
yeah. I mean, I know I could do it next year. It's not like I couldn't do it next year, but it's like, especially with how good I feel too. It's just like,
Fired
yeah,
up.
I'm pretty filled out at this point too. Like I'm seeing veins in my legs, which is like insanity for me. Like I'll have like veins everywhere, like up top, and then I see like one little vein like popping through my leg, and I'm like, ooh, well, I'm just ignoring the veins of my delts. So that's cool.
I am now shredded.
Yeah, we got a ways for the legs, especially the hamstrings, but quads are actually looking pretty decent for 170s.
Excellent. And
So
James, how are you doing, buddy?
I was actually just noticing, like in this light and in my phone, like how tired my eyes look. It's rough. It's rough only because like the prep side of things, I feel like is the easiest part of my life right now, which is sad.
just
Because I'm
running on
working.
autopilot, you think, kind of with that, or
Yeah, like I'm picking up more clients in in-person training. The online business is growing. I'm still working the 40 plus hours in the clinic. But what I did recently was I moved everything off the weekends because literally from last weekend until like the end of June, we have someone coming to visit us every single weekend because nobody's met Bella yet. So all of our family and all of our friends are trying to come meet Bella. So like every single one of my weekends is occupied. So like every day now is a 12 to 14-hour day. And so I'm training 4 days a week on top of 12-hour shifts in the clinic, on top of doing client check-ins. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm gassed. I'm sleeping like 4 hours now. So
how much longer is that full-time 40-hour week job gonna last?
we shall see. We shall see. I was actually talking with
Maybe we
Leroy.
should talk about it on the podcast
Yeah.
publicly.
It depends. That's probably going to be longer just for financial reasons. So
Smart man.
I'll leave it there.
Back that cash, man.
Gets his ducks in the row first.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to screen share.
You gonna give an quick update on yourself, Leroy, or?
Oh, fine. I'll tell the people what's up. Mine's not as exciting. Mini cut started I guess we're approaching on the end of week 2. So I topped out at 197.7, which is the highest I've ever weighed. At 5'7" on a good day, that was pretty heavy for me. So we opted to kind of shut it down there. Really productive off season that I've had. Talked with coach Cliff Wilson. He agreed. So we pulled the trigger on starting the mini cut for getting cleaned up for the wedding at the end of August. So the plan is to get 15 to 20 off from now to then. Kind of high 170s is where we're aiming for, but it kind of really depends on how I look. We're not married to a number because I might get to 180 and be happy there. or I might get to like 175 and want to push a bit more. So it's really up in the air of where we're gonna land. But the end of week 2, I'm hoping to see maybe like a 192, 191 tomorrow morning, because I was down week 1 like 3 pounds right off the top, which is not surprising at all. But it's interesting, even just getting that decrease in food, how much like better I feel. Like bloat went away, digestion a lot better, sleep a lot better.
You just don't feel backed up all the time.
Yeah, like you don't feel as bogged down, I guess, just
Yeah.
from so much food. And like,
Well, like you're forcing a meal down, and it's like I haven't digested the last like 2
That's
meals.
right.
Like the last 2 meals are still processing, and you're dumping another one, and it's just constantly,
yeah. So I feel really good. And that's one thing that I talked to a client about, because they were like, are you worried about all the progress you've made? And I'm like, I'm gonna go from feeling kind of shitty to probably feeling the best I'll ever feel at a certain body weight. So I should only progress arguably better. So I'm not getting to anywhere where I should see any detrimental training effects. So I'm excited. I feel good. And already I'm seeing kind of some visual changes pop through. So it'll be cool to see, what the 180s look like this time around.
I will say that I think, and just in this general comment, I think a lot of people like the diets make a coward out of them, and they just use it as an excuse to let their training slip. And like,
Yep.
it's just like, if you manage your variables well, like you'd be surprised. Like I'm finding now at like 173, all of my strength numbers are almost pretty much identical. Some are even a little bit better than I was at 193 in January. It's like I'm down 20 pounds. Like,
Yeah. The biggest
just
thing I
like,
notice is like leverage changes. It's not so
yeah,
much like I feel physically weaker. It's just like movements feel
yeah, they
off.
start
You
to
know
feel
what
a
I
little
mean?
different.
Yeah. But like I'm still so far away from that now. But stuff feels better, like squatting and stuff without just a stomach kind of full of food. Like
Oh, it's so much
everything just
better.
feels
Doing
so
ab
much better.
work, man.
I've been doing abs now. That's one thing that I've definitely added, is start to do some rope crunches and shit, just to get that little psychological like abs coming back through, because I don't do any abs outside of like dieting phases. I just don't do them.
You should.
I'll worry about that later. All right.
Anyways,
So first update, we're gonna pull up AJ Morris. I'm more than guaranteeing everybody watching this knows who AJ is. So this is, you guys can see this, the photo. So quick little chat about what's going on here. 7-month push up, topped out at
he masked up
200.
quick. I mean,
Yeah.
it's been 7 months, but still.
Yeah, so he went from 159 to 200. So basically 40 pounds in 7 months. And I mean, the dude looks good.
How tall
Yeah.
is he?
He'd be my height. I believe he told me he's like 5'7".
Wow. Okay. I thought he was a little shorter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said that he had a pretty steady rate of gain too. He didn't have any like huge upswing like right after. I think he pretty steadily climbed.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a little more aggressively at the beginning, I would imagine, but
Yeah. I mean,
which
his
is impressive.
composition. Yeah, his composition at that weight looks pretty darn good. I mean, still has
yeah.
quad showing through and everything like that. You can still see a serratus a little bit. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal.
It's impressive.
Actually.
Yeah. And the one thing that jumped out to me was his arms definitely have improved, which is what he wanted. He talked about that quite openly, that arms, chest, shoulders, he wanted to bring those areas up. So
his quads seem to have come up quite a bit
yeah,
too.
His quads definitely have improved. Side chest, I mean, I would say like his arms, I think his chest needs to kind of balance it out now almost. I think a little bit more through there.
Yeah, a little bit.
His legs
I think
look great.
I think some of that is just you're losing some of the proportion of the bulk.
Yeah.
I find that myself. Like my chest is not good, but it looks way worse when I'm bulking, just because my waist is so much bigger too. And as I cut down, like the chest just naturally looks so much bigger, more proportion.
I find similar to my chest looks infinitely better when I'm leaner. I think just not holding fat like right underneath it too helps.
Yeah, you get that shelf.
Yeah, and I don't have a huge chest either, but like being leaner definitely is advantageous.
Back is actually very well detailed still. Yeah.
Yep. No, it's it looks really good. It's interesting to see. I know he's not intending to compete as a pro this year. He's chasing down like the British overall or something like that with the UKDFBA, I believe. So
Which year? What year did he say? Next year?
no, he's competing this year. He started
Is he
prep.
competing again? Oh shit.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going with his INBA pro card yet. I think he's still competing as an amateur with the UKDFBA. I believe that's what he's doing.
Okay.
Because he wants that British title, which is fair, and that's a very big title to get. So I don't blame him for wanting to get after that, because it's it's pretty big deal over there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, AJ looks good.
Yeah,
Next,
he does.
Ray Drews. So WNBF Pro, and I know you guys hadn't seen these before, I don't think. So 5 weeks out. I know Ray, as well as I could know somebody through social media. Had him on the podcast before. Really nice guy, and gets in insane shape.
He's got great arms, man.
Yeah. So this is 5 weeks out. He's a lightweight as well. So I think he told me, he had sent me some photos a couple weeks ago, and I think he was like 156 or something like that. And he was already like looking stupid. I don't know what he weighs here, but I would say probably like 150, maybe.
What's the bantam cutoff?
I think it's like 149 or 148, I believe. I was always, when I competed, I was always like just kind of on that threshold at like 150 to 151. So
did you chase it or not really? Just kind of fall where you fall?
The lightweight cap when I competed, like here in Canada, was 154 and under. So I always chased that. So bantam actually might have been even lower. It might have been like 145 or 144.
Okay.
But I always tried to squeak into the lightweight category. And then after carb up, I would be like 158 or 159.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's close there. I don't know how much he could even lose off of what he's got there. But depending on what his weight is. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can see kind of from the back, like his hamstrings and stuff, maybe more's coming in. You can see from the side, like in his side chest here, like he's got vascularity, like in the side of his quad and everything like that. But maybe just that last little bit on his lower.
It looks like he holds fat similar to how I do, like right through the hamstrings and the glutes.
Because like his upper body's healed,
ready. Yeah. It's the legs. That's exactly how I hold fat too.
Yeah. So. I'm excited for him. He's a really nice guy. Great. And I think he's like been a pro now for like quite a few years, and this is his debut. Like he's had his pro card for quite some time, which is interesting because I thought you had to compete somewhat regularly, but maybe not. Maybe, I don't know.
I think you just have to compete in I could be wrong, but I thought you just had to compete within the first year and then you held it. I don't know. You just have to keep up with your card.
Yeah.
Or like
somebody who knows.
I don't know.
Comment.
Yeah,
comment.
tell us.
Someone comment, clarify, because every federation's different, so it's hard to know for sure. But yeah, I think he's going to do really well, and I'd love to see him like on the world stage at the end of the year. I think that would be cool. But if I remember correctly, he's got baby on the way, so things might change.
It's not that tough.
Yeah. So yeah, another one looking unreal. And next up, we've got Mr. Brandon Wattus, 22 weeks out from Mr. America and question mark weeks out from his first show of the season. So new low of 180, big dude, and ahead of the game. I think he says in this post he's like 3 weeks ahead. Yeah, 3 weeks ahead of plan. So what do you guys think? Man's looking big.
He looks awesome. I mean, yeah, he tends to be on his game and ahead of schedule just in general. That's kind of how he seems to operate, and he's a big boy.
Yeah.
So he'll do really well.
Yeah, his conditioning is always fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about his back shot in this one. His waist looks super wide in that shot, but I know it's not because I've seen his other competition photos and it always leans down really well. I don't know if it's just the angle, how he's posing or something there, but even from the front, it just
like
doesn't look that.
this is a pretty shredded
Yeah.
shot, and his waist
Yeah.
is
It just came
quite
right
lean.
on down. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Freaking glutes are shredded, Jesus.
Yeah, cheese graters.
So he's one that I think will do some good stuff this year. I think I'm very excited to see him on the Mr. America stage and how that all pans out. And I don't know, I've been trying to see if I can figure out what show he's doing, but he's trying to keep it a little more under wraps, but hopefully.
That's October 12th, so probably one of the early fall shows, I would imagine. Give him probably like 6-8 weeks before that. I don't know what shows fall in that timeline, but
Yorton's not far off from there.
And that would be a good one. I don't know if I'd want to warm up with a Yorton, but I guess for an experienced competitor like him, that's nothing.
In the Yorton, do you not have to be an OCB pro though?
You do. Does he have his OCB card?
I thought he did.
I thought he did too. I could be wrong. I know a lot of his athletes compete OCB.
Mm-hmm.
No, he doesn't have. I know he's IPE pro, but I mean, he could be. I don't know. I would assume he is based on looking at him, but I don't know his competition history, right?
Well, there's also, I know OCB's advertising other federation competitors can compete in. There's one specific show they can compete in to then qualify for the Yorton. So potentially a multiple show run up, if that were what he was doing. Who knows? He could just be doing a different show entirely.
And some places too, they accept pros from elsewhere, right? So I think places might be, especially with the way the world is, maybe a little bit more flexible with that right now and saying like, hey, like, if you're a pro with so-and-so, you want to come compete here as a pro, that's fine by us or whatever. But I don't know, but he's going to do some damage, I think.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
I wish Brandon next time post some more photos because 2 is not enough.
The people need more.
Shots.
The people need more, my friend.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we were talking about this earlier. His Doug Miller-esque arms.
Massive, enormous.
That gym he's at is sweet too.
Yeah.
He's in what, Indiana?
Sure.
One of those Midwest states, somewhere in the middle. It's always kind of like a big blur for me.
Yeah, here's
Midwest is a great place.
That's a stage. Yeah, like he's pretty lean here, I think. It's crazy when you look at old photos, you don't you get that perspective. Like I look at old photos from like 2015, 2016, and I'm like, man, I thought I looked good there and I look like garbage. And like when like you look at this Brandon next to old Brandon, like it's a totally different person almost, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's also amazing how much tan and lighting. We've talked about this before, but the difference tanning and lighting makes is like it's almost more of a difference than like looking a little bit leaner. Like if you have a great tan and the lighting is on point, you look like a superhero.
Well, we talked about this in our chat a few weeks ago with Steph and Andrew, and I mean, like from personal experience, like all my stage shots that I send you are from my first show where I didn't look nearly as good because the ones on my second show just looked like crap. It was all washed out. I looked super orange, like couldn't see any detail, but I was 7 pounds lighter and quite a bit leaner, but it didn't look like it. It didn't look like it from the pictures. So.
And that is something that kind of concerns me for some of these shows this year, because I know a lot of the venues are being changed. They're being moved around to different places that haven't been venues before. So hopefully they can get the lighting right in all these places.
That's something that like before you even hold the show, you've got to go do like dry run and just have some people stand under the lights and see how it looks. And having a good photographer too that knows how to take those photos is huge as well.
That's one thing. A lot of the CPA shows up here, I think all of them use Zoom photography and they do an amazing job. They do a really, like they've got
makes a difference.
two cameras going and it's just click, like hundred, like they must take thousands of photos per show. And then like they'll send the photo packages out with like the good ones, but like they get everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, bodybuilding is just a visual sport. Like, honestly, the shows, like when shows don't have good photos, don't have good lighting, it's almost kind of embarrassing for the sport. Like,
Mhm.
to be blunt.
All right.
Oh, here come the real nudes.
And the last one. Can you guys see that all right? I don't know what this looks like on your end.
I see the one on the far right where James looks like a creeper, like from one of those like old guys on Facebook that doesn't know how to
It's
use
my-
Facebook and took a
My
shirtless selfie.
OnlyFans. Yeah. Well, you got to say what we're
He's
doing.
even got the
first. You haven't
stash.
you haven't even said what we're doing.
I've got his front lat spread up. You guys see that?
No,
Nope.
no. It's just still
the
the
folder.
small ones. Yeah,
Just the small ones? What the
it's
hell?
not sharing that for some reason.
You gotta share.
It doesn't want it to happen. It still needs to be a secret, I guess.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. All right. We'll get it.
There we go.
All right, Mr. James. I don't know what I'm doing here.
You're like drawing on me.
So we need all of this. Okay, so you sent us these. These are a week ago, yeah?
Yeah. Week ago
Okay.
check-ins.
Okay. Body weight.
Body weight in those 169. That was pre-refeed. So we're doing a refeed every Monday right now. So that was Sunday check-in, no pump, lighting's okay. Yeah, 169 right on the dot.
So jumps out at me is your delts look sick. Your lats are popping nicely, and your legs are juicy as hell. We've talked about the legs. Need to
The
come
X
in
frame
more.
is really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, but the shape, your shape is sick.
Yeah. The legs have definitely been a struggle in the past. They're looking okay right now for the body weight. I was hoping they'd look a little bit better at this body weight, but that's just time, and I've got time.
All right. I'm new at this, people, so give me a minute. There we go. So we got this one, little aesthetics, little classic. Little
You got a small
Frank
waist.
Zane-esque.
What's the waist at these days? Like 28?
Yeah, it's like at 28.
That's dope.
The fact that I guessed that on the number. How about that?
Yeah, this is some posing routine-esque stuff, and I like it. I like the flow. I think that people need to put effort into that stuff because it looks great. And those shots, like when you do that on stage and you get a good photo of that, like that's gonna be a keeper profile pic.
Pose on your wall.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I feel like you do yourself a disservice and you do the sport a disservice if you're not trying to like really show the posing. I mean, if you're not posing well, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're getting on stage, we're getting lean, and we're trying to show off our body. So do it and do it well.
You heard it from the man.
Presentation.
This shot is a good one too because your obliques are coming in hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're like the first thing that leans out on me. My side.
The legs look really big from the side too.
Yeah, that hammy drop for sure. Yeah, those legs are looking thick.
You got a little less shadow there. I think so. At this point, it's bringing me some powers.
Bumstead.
And we got these. I think these are post workout.
Yeah, these were.
This is a juicy one.
Yeah, that was with the pump. The pump felt too good not to. Take
I love the most muscular with the lighting.
And your chest looks good, man.
Yeah, your
chest looks good.
Everything looks good.
It came up big. Now here's what bothers me. You see my abs there are still like upper body's pretty lean, but because I've had some weight in the past, like when I was younger, I do have some loose skin over my abs. And for whatever reason right now, it's still just like, I could also just be from being so depleted, but they're so washed out right now. But time.
When was this? Was this after the refeed?
This was, yes. Let me think. That was Tuesday training. So one day post refeed.
Do you find you spill in certain areas?
Probably. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of just so tunnel minded right now with everything going on. I'm letting Brett make all those decisions. Yeah,
that's juicy.
There's a money shot.
This was
like the nice little split starting to come through there, and the old upper and middle pec there.
Yeah, coming through. So this is a fun thing that I realized with my chest. You can actually see like the other fibers coming underneath the
right
pec
there.
major there. Yeah.
That
Gnarly.
is super cool.
I can't wait to be shredded again. I hate being fat now. No, man,
Yeah.
you look freaking great. You look real good. And
I'm
how
happy.
many weeks out?
So since we're revealing the physique, I guess I can talk about the plans a little bit too,
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
Drum roll. Drum roll.
Yeah, here we go. So first show, warm-up show is actually closer than most people would probably think. 5/22, May 22, OCB, New Jersey. That'll be a fun one.
Damn.
Yeah, that's close,
That's really
right?
close.
I'm looking at my calendar here, and that is coming up.
Yeah. So will I be as conditioned as I want to be? No. Maybe I could have done things a little bit differently. But the big thing for me is I needed to get on stage again after 2 years off. It's a close show. I like the OCB for, the promoter there is a good promoter. That show's been around for a while. So yeah, I think that'll be a good one. And then the big one, the one I really, really want to come in for, and I still have some time for, is the INBF show up in Utica. So that is July 17th. So I got, what is that? Another 7-ish weeks or something.
Is that the
like
Empire State Cup?
That is the Empire State Cup.
That's the one I wanted to do. Man.
That was the one we were originally going to compete against each other at.
I'm tripping right now.
Yeah, so I'll be up there. Yeah. That'll be my shot.
Man, if the borders were open, you know who would be there in the audience going, "That's my James"? Me.
Yeah.
But I can't.
Yeah.
That's
so
amazing. Sweet.
Big hope is, do okay at the OCB. I personally am not expecting a pro card just because I know some of the other competitors that are going to be there. They've already competed this year and they look phenomenal already. And I'm okay with that. Eventually I'd like to get my OCB pro card. So we'll see how the first show goes and kind of adjust my schedule as needed. But I'm really, really focusing on that Empire State because that's WMBF. I really want the WMBF pro card, and there's there's less opportunities with them on the East Coast. You've got just a couple shows that I could really realistically get to. So I need to best foot forward on that one for sure.
Are you doing bodybuilding in the OCB or classic? Bodybuilding.
All bodybuilding this year.
All thongs.
No more classic.
I hope you get enough competitors at the Empire State Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That would be the only thing that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I think there will be.
They have minimum 7.
Yeah. So here's the thing. There was a show in Rochester. There was a show in Buffalo. And I don't think either one of those shows happened with the IMBF this year. So there was, what once was multiple shows in the same area is now one.
Yeah.
So I think that'll draw a lot of people. And I think that's what we're going to find throughout the rest of the year is these shows that do happen. There's going to be a lot of quality competitors. We saw it last a couple of weeks ago. What was the OCB show that went on? I forget which one. Pine Tree State, maybe. There was like 6 or 7 in the class, and each one of them was like pro caliber. They all looked fantastic. So yeah.
That's sweet, man. And then beyond that, are you committed to that being the end of the season or kind of, nice?
No. I'm going to keep it going.
Stop.
Yeah. Once I'm already lean, I may as well stay lean, man, and just keep getting leaner.
You should stay lean till next year, and then we could do a show together.
the 2-year prep, start that trend. It just keeps getting longer. It's like, I've been in prep since 2019.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
No, so I've got my eyes on a couple of the bigger shows. The Mr. America is not too far from me. That's in Atlantic City. That's where I'm competing for the first show. Pretty easy to get there. Pretty good timing. So that's one. We'll see.
Is that a pro-am or is that that is pro-am? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see. We're going to keep it fun. I have those 2 that I'm locked into. And then from there, I want to honestly hit as many shows as I can and just do it.
Yeah.
Do it now. This is the year. It's got to be.
That's my mentality next year is literally like get in shape and then just be on a tear for like 4 or 5 months. show.
Yeah.
So
just
Dan,
keep competing till I break.
Dan is now July 17th.
What?
You're now on prep, my friend.
July 17th. Man, I need more time than that. I ain't
Get on
that
the
lean.
Stairmaster. Let's go.
I got like 15 pounds to lose, man.
Okay, May, June, July, pound a week. You're basically there.
Yeah. There's
All right.
I'm calling it here. Dan is doing the Yorton one way or another. He's going to find a way into the Yorton. It's in Pittsburgh. He lives in Pittsburgh. He's already OCB pro with Classic. It's happening. We're making it happen.
That's a really big factor for me. Yeah, with the Yorton being in Pittsburgh, like right down the street. Like, man.
That's you just walk down the street and be like, oh, Yorton's today.
I guess I have a show today.
I guess I better just get my trucks
Get my
on.
trucks on.
That's awesome. All right, people. That's going to close out this episode of Natty News Daily. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at natty_news_daily. And we'll see you guys in the next one.